PNP his late former counsel, Dr. Ron Williams. People's National Party PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell has expressed shock at the death of Dr. Ron Williams, who served as counsel for the Orchard Division from 2012 to 2016. Williams, 57, reportedly died Sunday evening at hospital in Washington, D.C. in the United States after battling cancer for the last 4 years. The passing of Dr. Williams came as a shocking surprise last evening when we were told of the untimely departure, Campbell told reporters. Dr. Williams was a respected member of the medical fraternity, serving the people of St. Anne, especially in the Orchard and St. Anne's Bay area, and he served a term as counsel for the Orchard Division, the General Secretary added. We want to at this time express condolences to his family and immediate friends and to the wider PNP family. A good man has transitioned. We hope that he will rest in power. The angels will carry him home, he noted. In the March 2012 Parish Council elections, Williams defeated Kenroy Dixon of the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, with 1,677 to 1,317 votes to become the counsel of the Orchard Division. He attempted a re-election in November 2016, but was started by JLP Michael Bill Nevis, who triumphed with 1,665 votes to Williams' reduced number of 985. JTA says if the Teaching Council bill in its current form becomes law, it will be difficult to enforce. The Jamaica Teachers Association JTA says if the Teaching Council bill in its current form becomes law, it will be difficult to enforce and costly for the government to finance. President Dr. Mark Smith made this statement at a press conference following a meeting of the association's Action Committee yesterday morning, which was called to determine the way forward on the bill. Speaking at the briefing, Dr. Smith warned about creating laws that cannot be enacted. He said with over 25,000 public sector teachers, the registration will be hard to manage. Meantime, the JTA has taken issue with the number of educators on the Jamaica Teaching Council. This is one of several concerns the JTA raised amid debate over the bill. Speaking at the conference, Dr. Smith lamented that the council comprised of 31 members, however, only 6 of them can be educators.
You can imagine, with our existing capacity to generate police records, an additional 25,000 will be required. We must not go down the road of creating laws that we cannot enforce. Colleagues, the cost, this will cost the country a great amount of additional resources and revenue that will have to be earmarked now for the process of licensing of teachers. If the government is able to find it along with the 280 billion needed for the transformation, I have no problem. But we believe fundamentally this must not be on the backs of our teachers. The cost associated with running this massive apparatus will be equivalent to having a Ministry of Education duplicated. Because not only will the council deal with licensing as many professional bodies, but within its articles, within the various structures of the bill, you will see where they want to take on the role to conduct professional appraisals. This is usually the remit of a school board and administrators of the respective schools. Why would we want to duplicate this process? The way in which ours is really structured, it is anywhere from around 90% in one iteration up to probably around 40%, depending on how you interpret it. And we'll give you more nuance around it. Because what we have seen, for instance, the nurses, with the Nurses Association, it is able to place 12 of the representatives of the 15 on their council. And those are named by the bodies that represent nurses. In our case, we are only allowed to call on 6. We can only appoint 6 of 31. And the question then begs, why are teachers being singled out? We desire to have this bill, and I'm putting it out there that we are open, we are extending an olive branch, and we're saying we want this bill to work. But there are these significant issues that I will be outlining that must be addressed. The summary of our position. Thus is while we support the general intent and purpose of the legislation and the policy-making apparatus, the board of the council is not truly representative of the sector and the professionals it seeks to regulate. We assert that there can be no regulation without effective representation. The underlying principles of this act, unfortunately, its regulatory functions are far too restrictive, punitive, and rather than being corrective, enabling, and empowering of our teachers.
Crawford, disappointed by JTA comments at JTC bill, says PNP fighting for teachers. Opposition spokesman on education, Senator Damon Crawford, has hit back at Jamaica Teachers Association President Dr. Mark Simit over comments the latter made regarding the Jamaica Teaching Council bill. Simit, at a church service in Mapen, Clarendon on Sunday, accused both major political parties of having a stake to the JTC bill. The teachers of Jamaica will not accept what we consider a betrayal. Nevertheless, we'll continue our advocacy, a call for unity among our ranks. The truth is, there is only one group that benefits from a weakened JTA, and that is whichever party form government. We must never forget that both parties have their fingerprints on this bill, and so let us not be divided in our attempts to move forward, stated Simit. However, Crawford said the opposition should not be confused with the government regarding the JTC bill. Everybody knows that the PNP is the education party, and when I was sitting there today, I don't know if it's the devil or it's God, but Comrade Peter Bunting reported to me that JTA president said in an effort to go on like they are fair, they can't trust none of the two parties. On what basis you go negotiation with government and government tell you a lie? How me get in a hit? What can do go so? He asked while addressing the People's National Party in a Patrick Divisional Conference on Sunday night. There are some people who try to sell themselves as non-aligned and is trying to sell themselves as non-aligned when dog bite them boss post. When post never they nowhere at all, added Crawford. Crawford claimed that the opposition has been lobbying on behalf of teachers. If there is anybody fighting for teachers at this time, it is the opposition. He, Simit, might not know because he didn't come to my speech. He came to the minister's speech. So if he wanted to lick both, he should have attended both, he noted. And with all the fight, where me a fight, to go and tell the truth, don't matter what the man say, he can't trust none. Well, the teachers know, because me a teacher too. I was the one who brought most of these things to light. So if you feel like you never want lick labor rights alone, then no say nothing. But it hurt me heart with the effort that I have placed to defend the teachers, he added. No ICU bed was available for Marriott Dean at Conner Regional Hospital, doctor testifies. A doctor attached to the St. James-based Conner Regional Hospital told the Westmoreland Circuit Court that despite his recommendations, Maradine was not placed on the hospital's intensive care unit (ICU) due to lack of bed space in that department. Dr. Longmore, who was an acting senior resident at the CRH Department of General Surgery in 2014, made the revelation under cross-examination during the ongoing trial of Corporal Elaine Stewart and constables Juliana Cleveland and Marlon Grant, who are charged in relation to Dean's death on August 6, 2014. During his initial evidence in chief, Longmore testified that he first saw Dean on August 5, 2014, 2 days after Dean was admitted to the CRH following a beating he suffered while in custody at the Barney Street Police Station lockup for possession of a ganja spliff. Longmore said that following his examination of Dean's injuries, plans were put in place to have Dean admitted to the ICU amid concern that he was suffering bleeding in the brain, struggling to breathe on his own without a tube being put into his throat to supply him with oxygen. But under cross-examination from defense lawyer Thomas, Longmore told the court that the hospital's ICU had a maximum capacity of 6 beds at the time, of which 2 beds were non-functional and the remaining 4 were already occupied by other critical cases. He said that inquiries were made to at least 2 other medical facilities about spaces in their ICUs, but no spaces were available. Additionally, Longmore said that junior staff at the CRH tended to Dean's care before he himself was notified about the case on August 5, 2014. Cleveland and Grant are charged with manslaughter and misconduct in a public office arising from Dean's death. Stewart is also charged with perverting the court of justice on the allegations that she ordered the cell where Dean was beaten to be cleaned before the arrival of investigators from the Independent Commission of Investigations. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.